Hello. I'd like to give a moment in case anyone does come on with me, but hopefully you can enjoy catching this later just as well. Yeah. But I find myself pondering this topic in my mind today. So it seems a little deep. It is a little deep and maybe even spiritual, but super interesting to me. And so, yeah, these ideas of heaven or hell being states of mind, right? Or levels of experience, or something that basically is about our here and now more than something that we're going to experience later or after we die. But yeah, I was raised kind of outside of religion, so for me to even embrace these concepts has been super interesting. Although, equally interesting has been how many spiritual teachers and teachings talk about this idea that maybe there's always the potential for two forces going on. Maybe on Earth, and even more so inside of us. And that the more that we become aware with things like our attention and our practices, right, and all that we're doing with this kind of personal development work even, we can start to be more aware that within us there seems to be these two choices with how we can look at things, how we can feel about the world, how we can align ourselves with our focus, with our attention, with our beliefs, with our feelings, with our imaginations, right? With our conversations, is one that may feel a little more like heaven on earth or heaven within, right? And the other that might feel a lot like hell. And I'm just really fascinated with this idea, and maybe truth even, that we all have both forces, both possibilities active within us, or at least there, right? And even practiced and a part of us. And I'm not sure how much this relates to this talk of like shadow work that we hear that we should do. Probably, maybe. So maybe to me that just means about embracing that side of us even, and that awareness and that truth. There may be part of us that always wants to help us get more in that framework that might feel like hell, that's more probably about fear, more probably about anger, separation, pain, lack, right? A lot about the fear side probably. And then we start to see this other side that has so much possibility, potential, joy, love, peace, harmony, connection, right? And then, yeah, we start to become aware through worlds like yoga and other systems of personal development, right? How much our framework, where we're coming from, is affecting what we are doing. And I think I should change my connection here. That as we become more aware that both forces are present, even are possible, that we get to choose, and that what we can see that we're doing with our tuning is tuning ourselves either towards that more heavenly realm, heavenly feelings, heavenly thoughts, heavenly. And what do we mean by heavenly? Maybe more feeling good, right? But also maybe more like spiritual, more like godly, more like universal, more like love as a thought process and a focus and awareness and attention, a choice, right? And that may lead us to feeling better and even being in more of like a heavenly realm where even so much more is even possible, right? And where things like miracles happen, and we have the serendipities and the synchronicities and the vibration of that even, right? The getting in like the high vibe we can see is like the heavenly vibe, right? And some teachers talk about it like fourth dimensional living, which I know like the fourth chakra has to do with the heart center. So some teachers and teachings would say we're moving more towards the possibilities of living more fourth dimensionally. And I think that's even what people like Jesus was talking about, living more in that place of love and possibility and more in like a heavenly realm, right? Realizing like, wow, how we focus, how we perceive, how we choose is either going to create heaven or hell for us, like within us and around us even. And then starting to even own how we're feeling on the inside, how aligned we are maybe with our true selves, how much we're following our joy even probably has to do with that heavenly realm. But how much that does start to create a life then that feels like that feels more heavenly and fun and free and exciting and possible and even magical, right? And or we see how we could in the same way, even with the same topics, find ways to look and feel and focus that can make us feel terrible and make us feel so scared and so helpless and so worried and so disconnected and so mad, right? Imagining the worst and maybe even experiencing the worst. So maybe that could be how we wind up connecting with and even creating more of what feels like hell for us. So I'm aware that this theory may enrage some people because it's not really looking to blame anyone for their experience, but just more pointing to the choice, the possibility that always within us we have this choice of heaven or hell in how we focus, how we feel, how we perceive, how we move forward. And yeah, but I vote for the heavenly realm, right? And knowing that what we're doing is tuning us to one or the other. How we're thinking, how we're focusing, who we're with, what we're doing with our time is connecting us with one or the other, right? And getting us stronger in one or the other and aligning us more with one or the other. So I know I choose heaven, and I love the idea that we could like bring heaven on earth, right? Through our vibe and our focus and our being in that and living like that and knowing that and bringing that. So yeah, it's the yoga and the heavenly vibe, man. Super fun. Thanks for listening, y'all. I love you. Namaste.